Hello, Shaker Heights varsity hockey fans, and welcome back into the J.M. Bartley Arena for another GLHL matchup between your Shaker Heights Red Raiders and the Walsh Jesuit Warriors. Shaker Heights coming in with a losing record, 12-13-3. Walsh Jesuit with a lot of success this season at 18-8-1. They have beaten a lot of good schools. They only lost to Upper Arlington by 1, and they've played all of these other GLHL schools already, like Gilmore Academy, and they've swept Gilmore Academy. They've swept Padua Franciscan, and it's already a lock for Walsh Jesuit to have that #1 seed in the GLHL Cleveland Cup come early February. Shaker Heights, on the other hand, has not had a whole lot of success in the GLHL. Their best results have only come against Holy Name, a squad that hasn't scored a whole lot of goals against any of these squads. Holy Name has not been able to beat Gilmore, Shaker, Walsh, or Padua. Holy Name is looking like they're going to get that last seed, but Shaker trying their best to avoid the 4th seed, to avoid the play-in game of #4 and #5, to then play this #1 team, Walsh Jesuit. So basically, if Shaker Heights will be getting one of those last 2 seeds, they will be playing Walsh Jesuit again, but this is already their 3rd and supposed to be final meeting of the season that got postponed after one of the boards went down here at Thornton Park. Shaker has already taken down Walsh Jesuit, but they lost to him as well. That was the very, very first game of the season. Shaker lost to him 4-0, though outdid them in many of the stats like shots on goal and face-offs. Then they came in to the Walsh Jesuit hosted Greg Shute Memorial Tournament right after Christmas. Shaker came in and they won their first game of the tournament against Walsh Jesuit. 3-1 was your final there. Shaker went on then to win the tournament as a whole, their very first tournament win in several years. And we'll see if Shaker Heights can finally win a GLHL game that is not against Holy Name. We'll see how it will go. But for now, we're going to send you down to the ice as we get the stadium announcements, the starting lineups, and the call of the opening puck drop. My name is Vaughn Ullum. Let's get you down there.
Welcome, hockey fans, to the J. Michael Bartley Arena for tonight's contest between the Walsh Jesuit Warriors and your Shaker Heights High Red Raiders. As a member school of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, Shaker Heights High School and its Department of Athletics welcome you to tonight's game. Your attendance support of the student athletes on the ice at tonight's game is appreciated by both member schools competing tonight. Both teams are expected to exhibit the qualities of good sportsmanship throughout the contest, and the administration from both schools requests the same from all fans in attendance. The officials assigned to this game have met extensive requirements set by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and have been approved by both schools to provide their important role in today's game. The officials for tonight's game are Mr. Maxwell Prexta, Mr. Guy Bradshaw, and Mr. Chris Kudak. First, the starting lineup for the Walsh Jesuit Warriors. In goal, once I find him on the score sheet, number 31, Joshua Ellenberger. On defense, number 24, Nick Anselman. On defense, number 4, Jonathan Heckman. At center, number 19, Andrew Wolfman. At wing, number 12, Jagger Dalton. At wing, number 5, Nathan Coons. And the rest of the Walsh Jesuit Warriors. The Warriors are coached by Mr. Pete Paleri. He is assisted by Mark Lombard, Tyler Dalton, and Ben Romansky. And now, the starting lineup for your Shaker Heights Red Raiders. In goal, number 32, Michael Vetter. On defense, number 23, Cole Richards. On defense, number 14, Captain Andy Benincasa. At center, number 26, Captain Ryan Linehan. At left wing, number 6, Connor Mayhew. And at right wing, number 5, Captain Joey Moore. And the rest of the Shaker Heights Red Raiders. The Red Raiders are coached by Matt Bartley. He is assisted by Mike Bartley, Carson Strang, Grant Cassell, Nathan Christman, Britt Anderson, Alex O'Kicki, and athletic trainers Bob Collins and Jordan Williams. Now please rise, remove your hats, and join us in singing our national anthem.
loss during the national anthem. We should be back to it. And yeah, a lot already going on for our equipment early on in the game, but now we should be back to it. 13:40 left to go in this first period. No one scored just yet, as we already saw the first and second lines of offense get out there. We've seen Andy Benincasa and Cole Richard already at the ice, so now we're getting all the secondary lines now out. 13:28 to go in this first period. Now behind the net, battle for the puck possession as Walsh Jesuit trying to take it over, but Shaker's able to clear this one down the ice. It's going to be an icing on Shaker Heights with 13:16 to go in the first period of play. Again, excuse the connection issues over those first 90 seconds of the game. Not sure what the matter was, just wasn't able to find the Wi-Fi here at the J.M. Bartley Arena, but now we're back to it after a little bit of a delay here. Into the far side corner boards of the Shaker Heights defensive zone. Benincasa trying to take it. The other big man, Ryan Lenahan, going to join the play. Both of them will get the job done and give it up to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew clears it out, banking a pass right off the torso of Ryan Lenahan, but it already is brought back by the Warriors into the Red Raider zone. Cole Richards sends it right back out with Connor Mayhew trying to deke around Van Tegem. In doing so, Van Tegem actually going to get the puck possession as he picks up the loose puck in his own zone behind the net of Ellenberger. He passes it up. Lenahan makes the good hit, which is what we need from Ryan Lenahan, one of the bigger guys here in the GLHL. He needs to make that physical play against a rival. 12.5 remaining in the first period, 0-0 the score. Here's a good pass up to Eni. Eni looking for the pass back into the slot. He's not able to make it happen. And Shaker will be able to maintain possession, take it back, and Ryan Lenahan takes it from his own blue line, dumps this one down past the red line of center ice. Icing going to be waved off. Joey Moore, the one man chasing it down. Connor Mayhew hopping off. Lenahan remains out as well. Now he's going to take a change, but it looks like this one's offsides right in front of the Red Raider bench and the Red Raider defensive blue line. 12:05 left to go in this first period. We're scoreless through just about the first 3 minutes of action. Salmon, Kiltz, and Rich going to be your three forwards now. The face-off going to be taken up against the captain, Andrew Holcomb, number 19. Lowell Rich, face-offs, big part of his game. He's trying to win it over the winger, but on a tie-up, Kiltz isn't able to stick with it. Braden White now along the near side boards, able to fish it out, get it to Lowell Rich on the backhand, can't clear it out just yet. So flipped back in, deeper into the zone by Jagger Dalton. But Kiltz, can he get back to it? No, he's thrown off the play. Here a shot from the point, trying to get it back right out in front of the net. Coons poked away from. Lowell Rich going to swing back into the far side face-off circle. Try to wrap it around the boards. Kiltz was not aware that was coming his way. Here's the chance. Holcomb in front of the net as Walsh Jesuit takes it back. Salmon trying to take it out of the zone, but on the poke, it won't get enough. At the point, kept in for now. Here Connor Mayhew banks it off the boards. It's sent all the way down. This is going to be an icing on the Raiders once again. Third line comes out. Schneider, Arth, and Juan. A line that's really struggled to find its footing. A couple of goals for Juan, one for Axel Schneider. Arth has struggled in the scoring department as well, so not a whole lot going for him. On the offensive side of things, they've had great shifts where they've put a lot of pressure on. They just have not been able to find the back of the net. Here's Schneider with a pass up to Juan. This could change things as he gives this one to Andy Benincasa, the defenseman on the rush. Trying to throw him off the play was number 7 Keegan Sprang, the junior, against the senior. Shaker behind the net, battling for the puck possession back. Arth without the size to try and win this battle, but he will free it out to the near side face-off circle where Schneider tried to take a hack at it. But unfortunately, Walsh once again able to take it away, clearing it out from the blue line, and now Sebi Juan taking it right back in, skating it down, but it looks like this one's going to be called offsides as Arth was already over. Looks like this forward line going to remain. On defense, we get KMAU, Braden White, 10:49 to go in the first period. This face-off is going to be handled by Walsh Jesuit. Face-off won by Vaughn Sprinsel. And here's a good turnover created by Braden White. Axel Schneider with the chance on the shot, and a great save. Joshua Ellenberger keeping it scoreless with 10:30 remaining in this first period here. Colin Arth behind the net trying to poke this one around the boards. It's going to be the first shot on goal for the game for either side. The goaltenders haven't had a whole lot of stressors early on. Here a pass from White up to Moore. Moore trying to find Mayhew back in the neutral zone. He's unable to stick with it as Eni is able to make the poke away in the Walsh Jesuit side. 10:05 to go in the first period. This one banks off the glass outside of the Walsh zone. Lenahan trying to get it back in the neutral zone. And it looks like he's going to create this turnover and walk right in. Here he tries to deke around a guy. He's eventually caught up between two Warriors. Moore able to recover, battling the referee that's right in front of him. He's trying to backskate. Here a pass from Lenahan from behind the net. Mayhew unable to really pull the trigger. Less than 10 to go. 9:40 to be exact. White going to hop off for a change. First line remains out as forwards. Moore creating the turnover in the face-off circle of the Walsh zone, taking the shot. It tipped and up into the glass. Mayhew and Lenahan still battling for the puck possession. Mayhew sends this into the opposite corner as three Warriors were coming his way. And now Walsh going to send this down the length of the ice. Benincasa, you could see him flying up into the air trying to save that one and slap it back down. Unfortunately, just going to miss it over his head, and another icing on Walsh Jesuit. 9:18 to go in this first period. 0-0 the current score. And the third line going to make its way back out. Arth to take this face off. He's up against Andrew Holcomb. So third line forwards up against first line forwards of Walsh. And we'll see. Kept in at the point for now by Cole Richard. Walsh looking for another way to clear it out of their zone as Jagger Dalton holds it up along the far side boards. Kick it back out to the Warrior forward, Coons, kept in by Richard with another good poke. Great effort right now from the sophomore, number 23. And now behind the net of Ellenberger, once again, Arth with a couple of good swings of the stick, able to jar this one loose from Holcomb. Trying to get it back to his forwards, but their Shaker unable to pass it just yet. Cole Richard gonna bank it off the boards to himself, make a guy miss. Coons looking like a fool out on the ice as he hits the ice, trying to make the play, but Shaker going to get back to it and dump this one behind the net of Ellenberger. He adds his crease with a good stick lift. Arth tries to get it back, but Zubinski able to work with Holcomb. Here a pass right to the hand of Coons. Perfect pass, and he's able to bury it in. That's just perfect pass from the Walsh Jesuit side, able to hit the hand of Coons. He slaps it onto his stick, creates the breakaway chance with 8:23 to go in the first. Walsh has the lead. It's 1-0. I mean, come on. There's just nothing you can do about that. I mean, that was just perfectly placed back in the Walsh Jesuit zone. The pass all the way to the other blue line. So across theirs, across the neutral zone. Now the referee's actually talking things over here in the neutral zone. And it looks like head coach Matt Bartley has an argument against the referees, saying, wait, I don't think this truly happened, and he's still trying to plead his case. The referees skate away while he's still trying to talk to him. But yeah, he's not going to change the referee's decisions. So yeah, number 5, Nathan Coons, the senior forward, getting the very first goal of the game. Shaker honestly has had the best pressure so far on offense. But Walsh Jesuit with a perfect pass and a great catch of the throw, almost like a football pass, as it went all the way up across the rink. This one ending up in the Red Raider bench. We're going to get a stoppage of play. I mean, again, there's just not much you can do against that play. I mean, perfect positioning. It's interesting to see if the Raider coaches are right in saying if it's offsides, but again, in high school, you don't have the replay review, and so referees have to go with their original call. It's kind of what we saw against the U.S. game here. Shot from the point right at the logo, sitting on Michael Better's chest. He's making the save with 7:52 left to go in the first. Walsh Jesuit now up by a goal. And Walsh going to win it over to the winger at first, but now tying up, Lenahan's going to be able to get it back off the far side board. Turned right over here to Bookzak, the freshman. However, going to turn this back over to Lenahan, right in front of the net of Michael Better. Passed up Connor Mayhew. Mayhew going to deke around one guy, get it right back to him, but he's unable to make the play through a couple more Walsh Jesuit guys protecting the slot. Van Teegum going to dump this one in, trying to get past Cole Richard, but Benincasa will cover up behind the net of Michael Better. He's going to protect the puck and try to get it in Red Raider possession. There, a harsh kick from number 4, Jonathan Heckman, keeping it inside of the zone for now. Here, bank off the glass. Shaker going to be able to clear it. This one's going to go on net to Joshua Ellenberger, though Heckman gets it behind the net. He turns it right over to Moore unable to move that pass. And here in the neutral zone, Benincasa plays it aggressive. Honestly, the smart move. Benincasa clears it back into the Walsh zone. The squad of maroon and gold, you can see the maroon and gold uniforms. Their away uniforms here against the GLHL opponent. That's got to be offsides this time. And indeed, the pass up to Dominic Eni going to be whistled dead. 6:46 left to go in this first period of play. 1-0. The Warriors leading. Face-off will be number 11, Vaughn Sprinsel, up against Arth, and it's sent right into the near side boards. Arth is going to be the first guy back to the loose puck. He's going to take it and get tripped up. That's going to be called. Shaker going to get their very first power play chance as the goaltender, number 31, Ellenberger, holds on in his own zone. We get the play blown dead. It's going to be a tripping. It's going to be number 20, Connor Pulley, a sophomore forward. And Shaker brings out their first line power play unit. 6:34 to go in the first. Let's see if they can even things up. Shaker, last time they played Walsh Jesuit, 2 for 5 on the power play. Looking to replicate that kind of 40% success rate once again here. Here, Joey Moore sends it back up to the blue line. Cole Richard looks for the shot. Good glove save. Down low, Ellenberger dropping down to his knees to make the save, and he's able to scoop it up with 6:20 to go in the first. Faceoff will go from one faceoff circle to the other. Not exactly sure why. Faceoff was made on the near side, but they send it to the far. Here, Walsh Jesuit wins this faceoff. The dump down the ice will split the two defensemen. And behind the net, Benincasa going to leave this to Cole Richard. Richard sends this up, Benincasa. Benincasa goes cross ice, finds Mayhew on the rush. Cannot move around Joey Moore. They're all clamped in at the blue line. But Lenahan going to pick up the trash and send it over to Cole Richard as he works his way into the slot. It's tipped and it goes wide. Here, a secondary chance. Lenahan once again sends it wide. Benincasa on a dive tries to keep it in, but it'll clear out to the neutral zone. Cole Richard holds on, sends it up to Lenahan, just barely on sides. And Lenahan takes it back into the zone once again, wraps it around the boards. Can Walsh Jesuit clear this time? Not yet, as Lenahan picks it up in the far side, attacking zone corner boards. Here he's looking for the wide out shot, unable to get it to connect. Lenahan tries to take it back behind the net. 5:20 left to go in this first period of play. Shaker looking for that first goal. At our next stoppage of play, we'll give you the puck in the net picks as well. Here, a shot from the blue line, going to go off of Michael Better and over the net. My goodness, that was dangerous. Now we're getting our second line of power play out there, though Lenahan still on the rush. Lowell Rich following suit as he moves his way in. Lenahan holds it, gives it to the point for Braden White to take a rip at it. Rebound chance! Lowell Rich unable to bury it past the right pad of Ellenberger. Walsh takes it, clears it out of the zone. Great opportunity that time for Shaker. 10 seconds to go on the penalty. Lenahan hopping off, so now it's going to be Arth, Juan, Rich, White, and Mayhew. Cam Mayhew, that is. Here, Vaughn Sprinsel trying to get it past Lowell Rich as the penalty time has expired. Juan looking up to Arth, except it'll go right past him onto the stick of Jonathan Heckman. Here, Vaughn Sprinsel back to it on the near side boards. Cam Mayhew going to try to get there first as he pokes this one back around the boards. Picked up by the sophomore Pulley, who's fresh out of the sin bin. And Shaker will clear this one down. Or maybe it hit off of a wall stick as icing was waved off. Here, we're going to get a type of fourth line as Max Brokaw makes his way out, moves around a couple of Walsh guys, tries to take the shot. It's going to go tipped into the air, but not out of play. It's kept in along the far side corner boards. Kilt's working with him to try and keep it, as right now Shaker once again has 4 guys out there, and they did have 4 guys out there for about a minute. I mean, not a good look. They're supposed to have 5. As we get the brief stoppage in play, we're going to give you the puck in the net picks real quick. The couple of managers went with Joey Moore, Arth, Ryan Lenahan, and Ryan Kiltz. The puck in the net pick for our cameraman was Michael Better. He believes he'll get an empty netter in the late stages of the game, all the way from his crease. Here, Cole Richard is going to be my puck in the net pick. He always seems to score in the big-time games here at Thornton Park. He's got something with the Thornton Park Ice Arena as he takes it and wraps it around the boards, finds Andy Benincasa. Benincasa off the boards, looking to get it up to the senior Aiden Salmon, who's in a physical battle up against the Walsh Jesuit bench. And eventually Walsh will take it, send it up to Dominic Eny. Eny pressured right now by Cole Richard. Richard sends him into the boards. Good hit from Richard. But here a centering pass. Do they have it on the wraparound? Chance. Here's a good chance. That time by Zubinski. But the shot tipped and it went wide. Even though he was right in front, a shaker stick just able to swoop back in and make the play. Salmon going to send this one down the ice. Ice is going to be waved off as it doesn't have a whole lot on it, but it'll make its way into the Walsh zone. Salmon going to try to keep this in the offensive zone for now. Indeed he will. It's wrapped around the boards as Lenahan tries to make his way to it, and indeed he will get there, looking for the centering feed to Salmon, but it'll hit off of a Warrior stick. 2.5 left to go in this first period. Walsh trying to keep their undefeated streak in the GLHL. Shaker trying to end it, but they got to score. They're yet to score in a GLHL game against Walsh Jesuit so far. Again, they lost to Walsh Jesuit in the very first game of the season for a GLHL matchup. 4-0 was the final. Here, Walsh going to be offsides as they make their way in. So again, the puck in the net picks. I've got Cole Richard. The cameraman's got Michael Better. For our student managers, Caden Trotter got Joey Moore. Maya Mayan took Ryan Kiltz. Charlotte One took Colin Arth, and Abby English went with Ryan Lenahan. So that's a lot of guys to keep in mind, and we will update you as one of them score. Of course, we got 6 puck in the net picks today, so we'll keep you updated if Shaker Heights can score this time here, right out in front. The Warriors almost with a great one-time chance. Jagger Dalton going to take it, try to center it back in front of the crease of Michael Better, but it's picked up by Lenahan and wrapped around there. Mayu just getting in the shooting lane as the puck goes wide off the shot here. Again in the slot. Holcomb sends it back into the point. Great effort here to Heckman. Heckman takes the shot, goes off of his stick and almost tipped its way in. That would have gone off target, but it hit the stick. Ooh, that was close. Here Connor Mayu with a chance, able to kick this one forward. Icing going to be waved off as he tries to make his way past Joshua Ellenberger. Moore going to keep it in Shaker possession, looking to center it just along the blue line, but it'll go outside of the blue line. 80 seconds to go in the first period. Shaker down by a goal. Walsh Jesuit going to try to double that lead before we hit the intermission. Here an awkward bounce off the boards. Lenahan going to pick it up, look for the pass over to Joey Moore across the slot. He's unable to pull the trigger. Moore tries to center it back either to Mayhew or Lenahan, but Walsh takes the chance and clears. Good work by O'Toole. Here a pass right off the stick of Lenahan. Back into the offensive zone. A minute remaining in this first period of play. Walsh has it behind their net as we play on. Mayhew trying to get a good stick lift and take Heckman off the puck, but he's skating it quickly down the near side. And can he split the 2 defensemen? He can, but the shot saved by Michael Better. 40 seconds left to go in this first period. 4-0. Lenahan skating it from one blue line to the next. He's on it, not passing it here, and he's thrown into the boards, and Walsh takes the chance and clears it for Cole Richard to take right back. Here, a delayed offsides. Joey Moore playing it too aggressive. He jumped the gun early. Creates an opportunity for Walsh to dump it the other way. Van Tegan behind the net, pickpocketed. Andy Benincasa takes it from Vaughn Sprinsel as well. But in the corner here, centering pass goes right off the skate of Lenahan. Lenahan trying to create one final rush. He's not going to pass it. And eventually, well, to Joey Moore, he's got 3 seconds. He's just going to take the rip. It goes wide, and that will conclude the very first period of 15. Honestly, a good period from both sides. Again, Walsh Jesuit with just a perfect pass, even though head coach Matt Bartley tried to argue that it was offsides. He was arguing that the body of Coons made his way into the zone before the puck did because he was catching it out of the air. Unfortunately for him, the referee's not going to change their mind, and so we're going to get a 12-minute intermission as we get some ice cuts between Walsh Jesuit and Shaker Heights. Walsh Jesuit leading this GLHL matchup, the final one for Walsh Jesuit, I believe, the second to last GLHL game for Shaker. They meet Padua next weekend, but Shaker could really love a victory here today. It would be their first win against an opponent that isn't Holy Name. Again, 1-0 your score after 15. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be back for the call of the second. And welcome back, everyone, into the J.M. Bartley Arena. Shaker Heights taking on the Walsh Jesuit Warriors in their second to last game of GLHL Conference play. Shaker Heights yet to win against an opponent that is not wholly named. Walsh Jesuit yet to lose a GLHL game, again sweeping Gilmore, sweeping Padua, wholly name, and then this, I believe, being their final GLHL game. Right now, it's a pretty even game. The Walsh Jesuit Warriors had a goal called that we thought was offsides, and head coach Matt Bartley of Shaker Heights also argued his case. The referees did not change their mind, but it was a skate in where he was catching the puck up from his right hand. His skates actually entered in across the blue line first and then threw it down. So we believe it actually was offsides, but the stats are still going to tell you that is even regardless of the scoreboard where it says 1-0 Walsh Jesuit. Right now, Shaker Heights and Walsh Jesuit even in the shots on goal, 4-4 in face-offs and shots attempted. Shaker just losing by 1 in each of those departments. Shots attempted 9-8, and in face-offs 8-7. In the power play, Shaker has had one opportunity, wasn't able to get much done, but that's where some of their shots on goal actually did come from, was on the man advantage. So hopefully Shaker can catch Walsh Jesuit on another undisciplined play. It was a tripping. Hopefully Shaker can get another opportunity like that to hopefully bury one into the back of the net against one of the best GLHL goaltenders, Joshua Ellenberger. We're going to send you down to the ice as we get the call of the start of the second. As 50 Cent blares here at the J.M. Bartley Arena, it now slows down and quiets as we get the opening puck drop. Lenahan takes it, tries to send it down into the Walsh Jesuit zone. It's held up by a couple of the forwards, and they, behind the red line, dump it all the way down. It's going to be an icing on Walsh Jesuit, only 9 seconds into this one. So Shaker down by 1 after what we believe to be an offsides call. Bartley definitely thought that was the case here in front of the crease. Mayhew tried to deke around a guy, unable to really get the shot off, but he'll create the turnover behind the net of Ellenberger, looking for the centering pass to Lenahan, and now it's loose right out in front of the crease. Lenahan trying to make the shot now. Benincasa at the point takes the rip at it, but it can't really find its way through the traffic. 14:30 to go in this second period. Benincasa tries to wrap it around the boards, doesn't have a whole lot on it. Jagger Dalton, however, beaten for the puck possession by Cole Richard. He'll free it out to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew back to Moore. Moore poked away from Andrew Holcomb's going to take it, flip it off the backhand deep into the Red Raiders zone. Behind the net, Benincasa going to take it, wrap it back, find his co-defenseman Cole Richard. Richard trying to find Joey Moore. Walsh Jesuit sends it right back into the zone. Walsh needs to touch onside, and they do. First line forward still out, right off of Connor Mayhew, sent right back into Walsh possession between the blue lines. Right now, Vaughn Sprinsel tries to go cross ice. This is going to be an icing as he doesn't hit his target, Connor Pulley. He was fresh off the bench. He wasn't really able to get the stick to the puck until it went right past him. So on the icing, Shaker will get a new set of 5 players out in the face-off. Going to be taken to the near side circle. Rich against Sprinsel. Rich wins this one back to Cam Mayhew. Takes the shot. Rich tried to get the tip out in front, unable to really make great connection. Here, White on a shot. Rich on another tip. Ellenberger takes it off the backboards and pokes it into the corner to try and get it away from harm. Rich taking it back along the far side boards, though immediately taken away from Cam Mayhew, taking it in the neutral zone, dumping this one down for Walsh to take. Send it cross ice to O'Toole. O'Toole thrown down from behind by Lowell Rich, and he pancakes him afterward as he tripped right over him. This pass from Cam Mayhew going right past the stick of Aiden Salmon. It'll go down for an icing. 13-17 to go in this second period. 1-0, Walsh Jesuit leading here at the J.M. Bartley Arena. Now we get a new look of 5 once again. This first-line defensemen, first-line forwards make their way back out. We didn't even see the third-line forwards. They were standing up like they were about to get set out onto the ice, but they made their way right back. Joey Moore thrown down to the ice from up high. No penalty. Lenahan going to take it, trying to flip it off the backhand up to Connor Mayhew. He's unable to connect, but a secondary effort will get it right off of his stick and to another Walsh forward. Here, a pass up Connor Mayhew. He might have a chance using his speed. He'll take the shot, and it'll go right off the stick of Sprang. Good work by Keegan Sprang to keep it away from harm as he slowed that shot down tremendously to give an opportunity here. A pass looking up to number 21, Kale Zurakowski, but it's out of reach. And Shaker right now with 3 shots on goal as we open up the period, comparing to Walsh Jesuits 0 shots on goal so far. Shaker with some good attack time right now, almost already doubling up their shot on goal total for the first. Again, Walsh yet to lose a GLHL game. We'll see if they have the streak ended by the Red Raiders here. Again, last time the squads meet, it was for a tournament game where Shaker did win it 3-1, but it didn't count towards GLHL standings. Here, Walsh hangs on, and at the point, almost keeping it on his stick was Andrew Holcomb and clearing it out of the zone. He's just able to get it out to Jonathan Heckman, but in doing so, a bit frantically, it turned over. Here, Juan creating a good play in the neutral zone. Great back check, getting back to it before he's able to enter in across the blue line. Here, past to Cole Richard. He slaps it down onto his stick and wraps it around. Off the backhand, he's looking to try and get a change, but he's not able to just yet. Now he'll hop off as Shaker trying to create the turnover in their offensive zone. Joey Moore going to pickpocket, take the shot. This one hits off the stick of Ellenberger up into the netting and out of play. 11:55 left to go in this second period. Walsh up by a goal. A bit of a late change. Second forward line going to make their way back in. Lowell Rich to take this face off against Vaughn Sprinsel. He'll win it once again. Cam Mayu trying to get the tip from Lowell Rich in front of the crease. And Ellenberger going to cover up as it hits off the backboard. One of the Walsh Jesuit coaches yelling at the players. So someone needs to stay in the center. My goodness. Here, Rich trying to take this off the face-off on the tie-up. Salmon also throwing O'Toole down to the ice. In doing so, it's freed back up to Braden White to take and try to dump it into the Walsh zone. And Walsh will take it. Here comes Connor Pulley, poked away from it first by Aiden Salmon. He'll recover, takes the shot right off of his stick, and it's whiffed on as he didn't make great contact. 11.5 to go in the second period. This pass from Cam Mayu goes all the way right off the pad of Ellenberger, but they still rule it an icing. Yeah, not at all sure how that was an icing after it went on net. But again, the goal was offsides. So at what point do we just got to sit back? Lenahan to take this face off. This one blown dead before it really got set. Along the near side boards, Ben and Casa set up against a Warrior. Looks like they jumped the gun a bit too early, so the referee blew it dead. We reset. Walsh takes it on the draw, wraps it around the boards, trying to take this offensive attack and try to double this lead. But Andy Benincasa wraps it around the boards on a clearing attempt, kept in for now by number 23, Anthony Zubinski. Pass into the front, sprang. Does he have a shot open? It's tipped, and it'll go wide. He did, or at least he thought, but it closed quickly as it tipped wide. Here to the near side boards, Andrew Holcomb. Another one of those great GLHL players here. Sprang! The shot from the blue line, the tip from Coons will not make its way on net. Joey Moore and Ryan Lenahan from the far side boards. Lenahan pressured right now by one of the Walsh forwards. Somehow it gets past the blue line. Mayhew on the shot right off the chest of Ellenberger, and he'll snag it up with the left glove. Third line of forwards now makes their way out with 10:35 to go in this second period. Walsh still up by a goal. Arth going to be taking this face off up against Zurakowski. Zurakowski wins it back behind the net. Axel Schneider pressuring to get the puck, but behind the net, both of the guys fall down to the ice. Walsh is going to take it with Zurakowski. Not a whole lot of size on him, but he's got the speed. He takes the rip, and a glove save by Michael Better. Both goaltenders exchanging glove snags out of the air. Good look by Michael Better. Shows confidence in that save, and maybe can give Shaker a little bit of momentum. 10:19 to go in the second. Shaker wins this face-off back to Braden White. He'll use the backhand of stick Free it out to Sebi Juan, who leaves it to Arth, and Arth begins to rush the other way, using his speed. Arth moves into the center, takes the shot right at the Walsh Jesuit crest of the jersey. Ellenberger on a big chest save. The alternate captain, the goaltender, very rare occurrence, especially at the high school level, to see a goaltender wearing either a C or an A. But again, that's just how much Joshua Ellenberger has proven himself. This shot right off of the skate of a defenseman in front. That was Van Teegem here, White on another chance. Shot went wide right. Juan will pick it up from behind the net. Looking for a centering feed. He'll pass it right to the stick of Jonathan Heckman, and he's going to skate it from blue line up to the red line and dump this one down. Good stick lift. Holds up Heckman for a second, but he gets right back to it. Using his speed, he'll wrap it around for Dominic Eni. Looking for a pass in front of the net. He can't find anything, so we'll give it up to the point where the shot is blocked by Juan. Juan thrown away from the play, but it's freed up. The loose puck picked up by Arth. Arth with a good opportunity. Holds on, takes the shot. Rebound chance. That time, once again, goes wide. Cam Mayhew on the rebound opportunity. From the far side corner, Shaker with the opportunity to keep it in at first from Aiden Salmon, but it'll get right past him. Shaker back in their own zone with Andy Benincasa. Benincasa slides this one up to Cole Richard. His pass blocked. And so Walsh, can they get another attack going? Well, O'Toole is going to dump it down. And behind the net is picked up by Cole Richard, who gives it right over to Connor Pulley. Pulley with an opportunity on the centering pass. Good poke check by Benincasa. Gives it back out into loose ice. Picked up by Vaughn Sprinsel, who sends it back around the boards. Walsh Jesuit takes it. Looks for a centering feed. He's got nothing. Pulley tries to find Van Teegem at the point. Now to Salmon. Salmon up to Rich. Rich unable to make the pass over to Kilt. Walsh sends this one down, not able to connect with their guy, Vaughn Sprinsel. And as it goes all the way down, it's going to be an icing on Walsh Jesuit. Right now, the shot on goal total 7-2 to the advantage of the Red Raiders here in the second period. They are laying on the shots to Joshua Ellenberger. But man, this senior goaltender wearing the A just never seems to give you any free opportunities to get one up on the scoreboard. Right now, Walsh back in their own zone, wins the faceoff, clears it out quickly. As Pulley gives this one up to O'Toole. O'Toole's shot goes wide, kept it at the point here by Keegan Sprang as he sends this shot wide. Here a poke, finds its way to Axel Schneider. Schneider unable to connect with Arth at first on a stick lift, but he'll give it up to the loose ice where Benincasa takes it, tries the shot. But off the glass, it's going to go over to the possession of number 31, Ellenberger. He's going to cover this one up and await the whistle. Here, looks like first line forward's going to make their way off. Make their way on. Third line makes their way off. A bit of a late change. The referee getting impatient. He's blowing his whistle. Moore to take this face-off. Up against Sprinsel. Moore tied up on the face-off. Good stick work by Sprinsel to win that one over to his forwards, who are in stride the other way. Back in the neutral zone. Walsh has it. Turns it over to Mayhew. Mayhew right off the stick of Lenahan. Lenahan's got Moore out in front. He can't really connect with him as the passing lane closes up. So he took the shot, and another great save by Ellenberger. It'll clear the zone. White takes it right off the Red Raider benches. Cross-ice feed. Lenahan going to try to create the turnover before it escapes the zone. He'll work with Mayhew to get it back between the blue lines, though. Walsh takes it, dumps this one down the ice. This should be an icing, and indeed we're going to get the hand raised and the whistle. The icing called as we are just about halfway through this one. 7:32 to go in the second period. Walsh up by a goal. Nothing more, nothing less. Same as how we entered in. But again, Shaker with some great opportunities there. Have them beaten right now in shots on goal in total 12-6, so they have them doubled up in that department. We'll see if Shaker can keep laying it on for the period, because right now they're winning in the period 8-2. This one right off the face-off, sent around the glass and actually makes its way up into the netting out of play. Referee's getting a new puck from the scorer's table. Lenahan taking the face-off up against Andrew Holcomb. First line up against first line right now. Lenahan going to take it. He's unable to beat Van Teegem as Van Teegem takes it off the wing. Lenahan unable to keep it in with the outstretched arm, but he'll recover. Back along his own blue line, banks it off the boards up to Cole Richard, who's sent right into the Red Raider bench by Andrew Holcomb. But he makes his way back out onto the ice. Here Cole Richard keeping it along the far side boards, looking for the shot. It'll go right off the stick of Ellenberger, and it was loose in the crease for a minute, and now Mayhew taken down, thrown into the near side corner boards. That's going to be an interference as he was off the putt, and Shaker with another power play opportunity with 7:03 to go in the second. The man to the box is the alternate captain, Jagger Dalton, the senior that you really hate to lose at this point, especially for a chance on the man advantage, or I suppose for Walsh Jesuit on the disadvantage. First line of power play back out. Mayhew and Richard set up at the point. The three up front going to be Benincasa. Benincasa set up on this tip, looking for the shot, but it'll be tipped up and over the crossbar. Walsh takes it down the ice. 6:50 left to go in the second period. That'll kill off some precious seconds, but Shaker going to take their time as they're in the early stages of the power play. Richard with a no-look pass looking to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew unable to pick it up cleanly. He'll give it up to Benincasa in the neutral zone. It'll go back to Benincasa, delayed offside. Shaker needs to touch up along the blue line. Not sure that was exactly a clean touch-up, but they'll get it back. This one banks off the body of Joey Moore, off the boards. Holcomb with a secondary chance clears it down. Already 40 seconds off the clock. This one turned over to Holcomb, and he almost was able to poke this one through past the post and the body of Michael Better, but he'll keep that one off target. Here comes Connor Mayhew. Mayhew leaves this to Benincasa. Benincasa and Lenahan along the near side point. Lenahan looking for the opening. He'll give it up Benincasa. Benincasa has Joey Moore on the pass. No, he'll send it to the opposite point. Cam Mayhew unable to keep it in. The passing just not there for Shaker. Lenahan banks it off the boards, and now he's playing a physical battle up against Coons, the one goal scorer of the game to this point. Here Cam Mayhew up to Benincasa. Benincasa thrown off the play. Walsh Jesuit taking this, dumping it down. 40 seconds remaining in power play time on what has been a little bit of a rough going for Shaker on the man advantage. Here Cam Mayhew behind the net, trying to get past that guy set up in front. It was O'Toole. Now up to Joey Moore. Moore splitting a couple of Warriors and getting back to it behind the net as he's thrown into the boards and taken down. Arth gets it up to the point. Cam Mayhew going to take the shot. It was tipped by Moore, but it goes wide behind the net. Back to it. It's with Colin Arth. Arth looking for an opportunity on the shot. He'll free it up to the point as he skates his way there. Now drops it off to Juan. Juan on the shot. Save made by Ellenberger once again. Lowell Rich, after the whistle, has his stick thrown out of his grasp. 6 seconds remain in the power play. Now here an interesting look. Rich taken off for Isaac Lazar. Here White right off the face-off. Takes a hard shot. It'll go wide left. Mayhew keeps it in as it's wrapped back around. First guy there in the corner is going to be Sebi Juan, who tries to give this back over to Arth. It's out of his reach, but Isaac Lazar going to get there in the near side corner. Tries to wrap it back around. Walsh taking it. Looks like they have an opportunity to clear it. Indeed they will. And Braden White gives this up. Jagger Dalton. Jagger Dalton scores on the breakaway. And Walsh Jesuit doubles that lead. It's now 2-0 with 4:46 remaining in the second period. Ryan Lenahan talking to Andy Benincasa in the neutral zone. Talking strategy before they get back to it. As now the first line is going to be back out for Shaker. No argument from head coach Matt Bartley about this goal. It's 2-0 with Walsh leading. And here, pass up to Bookzak. Can't really pick it up cleanly as it's wrapped back around the boards for Joey Moore to take. Shaker has overcome these kinds of deficits before. This pass from Moore goes to Lenahan. Lenahan behind the net looking for the pass back. Unable to connect with Mayhew as he's getting the stick ripped out of his hands. He's thrown up his arm saying, hey, I want a penalty, but he doesn't get one. Keegan Sprang on the rush. Thrown into the boards by Benincasa, but he keeps his footing. Moore getting back to it, working with Benincasa to take back possession, but a pass out in front. Here's the shot blocked, that time by the sophomore Cole Richard, who stays down to one knee, a little bit slower to get up, but he should be all right. Might be feeling that one in the morning, though. Here to the near side boards, throwing Eni off the play was Cole Richard. Here Lenahan and Richard work together along the near side corner. Richard now all by his lonesome, able to free it up. He's looking for the pass down the ice. He'll connect. Will it go off the stick of Lenahan? No, it missed it, so it'll be an icing on the Raiders. Shaker down 2. That last goal, a real killer. Looks like a piece of equipment also fell down to the ice. Mayu going to be the guy to pick it up along the near side boards in the shaker zone. Well, Rich trying to win this faceoff back to White. He's unable to really get it cleanly. Here, an opportunity for Van Tegem on the shot. Salmon pressuring to try and get it out of the zone. Van Tegem over to Holcomb. Holcomb unable to make the pass cleanly. Salmon tried to pick it up along the blue line, but Holcomb was just able to get it out. Here behind the net, Jonathan Heckman going on the attack here. Pass out in front to Holcomb, and they bury it again. With 3:21 left in the second. That one snuck its way through to Michael Better, and Shaker's playing this one like we're back on November 15th. Shaker has progressed so much as a team, but today, again, they're just back to how they were looking in that very first game of the GLHL, mid-November, before the Jamie Ruffner Memorial was that game. Here, Benengasa banks it off the glass. Again, Shaker has overcome these kinds of deficits. We'll see if they can try to get something going before they head their way to the locker room. Here, a pass right off the stick of Cole Richard. Richard's still out with Benengasa. The third forward line is out with Schneider, Juan, and Arth. Here, Benengasa battling against O'Toole. For the puck, it's going to go out to Arth. Arth off the corner boards, gets it to Benengasa, and Andy wraps it around the boards, trying to find Cole Richard. Walsh back to it. The pass right off the skate of Richard. Richard taking it. Wraps it back. He's looking to Schneider. Schneider unable to move it just yet as there's a man set up along the boards. This pass trying to find Sebi Juan, unable to connect. So to the near side boards, it's still with Walsh. Van Tegem has it. A stick lift from Juan. Won't take it away from Van Tegem just yet. Walsh really pressuring right now. Looking to try and make it 4-0 if they can. Van Tegem on the shot. Goes up and into the netting. And right now it's all Walsh Jesuit with only a couple minutes left to go in this second period. First line forwards making their way back out. Lenahan, Moore, Mayhew back out. It's going to be Lenahan to take the face off and winning it back to Cam Mayhew. Mayhew pressured immediately for the puck possession. He's going to give this one over to Lenahan. Lenahan takes it deeper into the zone, leaves it to Cam Mayhew. Mayhew tripped up, no call. Moore now with it behind the net of Michael Better. It will be passed up and around down the ice it goes. It looks like that's going to be an icing. Thought it hit off of a Red Raider guy or a Walsh Jesuit guy at the point, but no. Another icing on the Red Raiders with just under 2 to go in this second period. Walsh Jesuit leading 3-0. Shaker looking for a big comeback now. This face-off goes right to Michael Better. He's able to make the save behind the net of Michael Better and eventually into the corner. Lenahan trying to get that pass up to Joey Moore, but they do not look in sync right now. 100 seconds to go. This pass off the stick of Michael Better, up to Connor Mayhew, and that pass won't get to Joey Moore. Just didn't know it was coming his way, and again, Shaker just not seeming like they are a team right now. I mean, the passes from Mayhew to Moore aren't connecting, and that's how you know it's a bad case right now. That's a connection between Lenahan, Moore, and Mayhew that just never really misses. Lenahan now making a case to Andy Benengasa once again. And once again, Walsh is going to take this and clear it out of their zone. Benengasa holds on in his own zone, tries to clear it down to Juan off the stick of Cole Richard. Richard, one of the two defensemen, still out with Benengasa. This pass going to be out of the reach of Sebi Juan. He's going to try to get it back in the face-off circle. There, a bad pass to Max Brokaw. Brokaw unable to keep it with him. Here will create a 2-on-1 rush to the advantage of Walsh. Here, a centering feed back over to Holcomb, but it'll get past him, and it remains 3-0 for the moment. There, a stick save by Michael Better. Great opportunity as the slot was empty. Here, Max Brokaw with a chance to slow things down. Shaker just not clearing it out of their zone yet. 46 seconds remain in this second period. Here, Shaker just going to try to ice this one. Looks like it actually went into the Walsh Jesuit bench, though. Off of Zabinski. Face-off should be, nope. They say it went off of Shaker. Face-off will go to the right side of Michael Better to that face-off circle with exactly 40 seconds remaining. first line back out forwards. Lenahan loses his face-off back to Walsh Jesuit. Trying to take it, the shot, but it'll go right to the possession of Connor Mayhew. Mayhew leaves it to Lenahan. Lenahan cannot connect with Mayhew again, and it'll clear the zone as the defenseman of Walsh takes it, dumps it down. Exactly 26 seconds remain in the second. My, oh my. First period, very even. And right now, the stats for the second actually more so favor Shaker Heights, and the shots on goal, 11-7. It is in that department here. Walsh going to clear it out once again to the possession of Connor Pulley. Pulley sends this one down and looks to get it back off the backboards as he slides right into Michael Better. Luckily, Shaker is able to keep it. That pass by Lenahan intercepted. The good save made by Michael Better at first, and now behind the net, White making the hit behind the net. Shaker playing a little bit more aggressive, but now Joey Moore going to try to take the shot from his own side of the ice. It will go on net, but an easy save for Ellenberger as time expires on the second period. So my goodness, hopefully Shaker with a good talk from head coach Matt Bartley in the locker room that second period. And again, this is what we saw from the November 15th team, is that the second periods weren't their thing, and that's just the case right now. First period, they lose at 1-0. The second period, they lose at 2-0. So what's the score? 3-0 to the advantage of Walsh Jesuit. So after 30 minutes, 3-0, the Warriors lead it. Vaughn Ullum on the call from the J.M. Bartley Arena. We will be back for the call of the final frame of the GLHL League game. Shaker a little slow to their locker room. Walsh Jesuit already celebrating a little bit. Hello, Shaker Heights varsity hockey fans. Welcome back into the J.M. Bartley Arena. Shaker Heights losing this one by a devastating score of 3-0 right now against the Walsh Jesuit Warriors, a team they've already lost to in the first GLHL game of the season, 4-0, but they beat in a tournament game 3-1. Shaker just cannot seem to find their footing when it comes to the GLHL games, and that's going to prove costly when we come to the seedings in early February for the GLHL Cleveland Cup. Granted, it's going to be Shaker Heights having a play-in game, assuming they do, unfortunately, get that fourth spot. They would be taking on Holy Name, which, as we've seen throughout the season, Shaker should be able to beat Holy Name. But right now, Shaker wants to get back into this game right here, right now. Shaker is leading almost all the stats. They are actually all the stats. Now I'm flicking it at it. Shots attempted, they're winning at 28-19. Shots on goal, they came out strong in the first half of that second period, but ended up falling short with 2 goals coming against them. But they still won the shots on goal, 12-6 in the period, 16-10 in the game total. And right now in faceoffs, they're winning at 20-19, so just narrowly winning in that department. For the power play, Shaker's had 2 opportunities, haven't been able to get too much going. Their power play has really been a lacking point for them this year. And again, as we've said throughout this broadcast, Shaker's looking like they did at the very beginning of the season on November 15th when they played Walsh Jesuit, and hopefully that's not going to be a continuing game as we move into the third period. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to send you down to the ice as we get the call for the third period. Vaughn Ullum on the mic. 15 minutes still to come between the Red Raiders and the Walsh Jesuit Warriors. Shaker looking for what would be a big comeback in the GLHL against the 14th ranked team in the state of Ohio. Shaker Heights ranked number 22. So it doesn't feel that far apart, and honestly, these teams aren't that far apart in quality. Shaker just cannot find it today. But hopefully they're able to get back into it. Here it's going to be Holcomb up against Lenahan, the 2 captains to start the face-off. And Lenahan going to win this back to Benincasa, but then loses it immediately to Jack Dalton. Benincasa trying to get it back in the far side corner. He's going to be helped out by Connor Mayhew. Mayhew looking over to Joey Moore. Shaker will clear it out of their zone, but Walsh has it in their own zone. 14:40 to go in this third period as we play on. Kept in for now by Benincasa. Gets it to Mayhew. Mayhew on the shot. Great save, Ellenberger, keeping this a 3-0 score. Moore trying to go back into the slot. Phenomenal work by Ellenberger as Walsh got to get this one out of their zone and start a 3-on-2 rush, leaving it to Dalton. They can't connect on the drop pass. And here a pass from Moore finds Lenahan. Lenahan kicks it back onto his stick, working around the couple of defensemen, looking for the center and feed, gets it back to Mayhew. Mayhew, save made once again. Walsh takes it from their own zone. Here Holcomb on the shot. Here save made at first by Michael Better, almost gave up a secondary chance, but didn't, as Moore tries to poke this out of the zone, but kept in by Heckman and Coons. Better tries to send this up into the glass, does so successfully, just narrowly missing the netting. Here, Walsh Jesuit in their own zone. Hits Lowell Rich, who's fresh off the bench, trying to make their way forward. No call for the interference. But here, a good turnover created by Rich, looking for the centering feed over to Salmon. Cannot connect. Walsh clears it down. It's going to be an icing on the Warriors. 3-0 your score. Walsh Jesuit leading here at the J.M. Bartley Arena. Rich to take this face-off with Kilts and Salmon on the wings. Cam Mayhew, Braden White on defense. Here, White going to take this at the point, looking on a hard shot. Almost made its way through the bottom of that right pad of Joshua Ellenberger. Kept out for now, but Shaker really coming in strong for the start of this third period. We'll see. Here, freed up to Lowell Rich. Rich takes the blast off the glove of Ellenberger up into the netting, out of play. 13-16 remain in the third. First line forwards remain out. Shaker was going to try to take a change. And now it seems like they're going to. Cam Mayhew and Braden White remain out on defense. Here, pass over to Lenahan. Lenahan takes the shot. Kick save once again by Ellenberger. Moore trying to create that turnover along the far side boards. Walsh going to take this, a faulty pass. It'll clear all the way down that side of the ice. 13:05 remaining in the game. Shaker looking for, again, an incredible comeback in the late stages of this one. Moore, Lenahan, Mayhew, the forwards, Cam Mayhew, Braden White on defense. His face-off as he's up against number 21, Kale Zurkowski. Here, face-off, one back, Cam Mayhew with a shot and another save, Ellenberger. Mayhew, Connor Mayhew, thrown into the boards as he works with Moore to get the puck back in Shaker possession. Now Moore gives it back to Lenahan. Behind the net, here, pass back out to Moore. Moore's shot goes wide, I believe it was tipped. Here, White looking for another shot. It went very much wide and off of a leg of, I believe that's Keegan Sprang. Here's Zurkowski on a shot. Hits off the glove of Michael Better and lands back out in front of him as Bookzak going to pick this one up, looking to slide this one through the 5-hole of Michael Better as he sends this one up. And it's with Joey Moore. Moore looking for a good rush. He moves around one defenseman, takes the shot. It goes wide to the right. My goodness. Lenahan into the near side corner boards, tries to center it himself, not able to do it. Here, Richard keeps it in at the point just barely. Zurkowski almost with a chance to create a breakaway. Here, Moore thrown off the play, and the loose puck picked up by Lenahan. Lenahan behind the net, pickpocketed by Keegan Sprang. Sprang begins a rush of his own. Here it's going to be a 1-on-2, though. He's up against Cole Richard, and he's thrown down to the ice. Good hit by Cole Richard. Physical work by number 23. Here around boards it goes. That pass looking up to Sebi Juan, not able to hit his guy. Stride, Lenahan trying to create the turnover as well, but in the neutral zone as Walsh sends it out, it goes right to Richard. Lenahan now up and off as Axel Schneider, Sebi Juan, and Colin Arth going to make their way out in totality as a third line. Here Richard sends this one up. It'll hit off of the glass just over the head of the referee. Walsh going to take it with Andrew Holcomb. Holcomb with Colin Arth trying to pressure it. Here, Juan going to keep it in at the blue line for now. But Walsh gets it back. Here's a 2-on-1 rush. Here over to Coons. And whoo, that was close. And here, pass back out in front, looking at Holcomb, but Arth right in the lane of the pass. He's going to get it, and he's going to skate this up to the red line of center ice and dump this one down. Shaker going to get some changes. Braden White and Cam Mayhew going to come back out on defense. Right now, Shaker with too many forwards, but now they're going to come back and they get the defensive change. Here Ryan Kiltz creating the turnover, but he can't get back to the puck on the near side corner boards. Shaker needing a goal and needing one soon. This one flipped back out to Cam Mayhew. Held up along his own blue line, but he'll free it out to Braden White. White sends it all the way. He was looking at Kiltz, unable to pick it up cleanly. And as this one is sent down, it's going to be an icing on the Red Raiders. First line forwards make their way. Cam Mayhew and Braden White remain out on defense. .10:37 remain in regulation. Here, Pulley up against Lenahan for the draw. Pulley wins it back to Heckman. Sophomore winning against the senior. Now here, back up Heckman at the point. Shot hits the leg and goes wide. At the point, here's another blast that once again goes wide. Heckman keeps it in. And that pass right to the stick of Joey Moore, who no-look clears it. Right back to Van Teegem in the neutral zone. Gives it to O'Toole. O'Toole around the boards. It's 11 against 11. Braden White against Vaughn Sprinsel for the puck possession. They free it out to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew trips up, but he's able to recover, try to get back to it. White off the glass. He's going to clear this one to Joey Moore. Moore hits Lenahan in stride as he tries to get a rush going. He'll leave it to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew on the rip. And rebound is given up, but no one there to pick it up. Walsh is going to take it, send it down. This is going to be an icing on the Warriors once again. 9:50. Go in the third and final period. Here it's going to be Lowell Rich in his second line of forwards. Rich taking this face off up against Zurkowski once again. Zurkowski, excuse me. This pass out of reach of Bookzak. It's going to be another icing on the Warriors. .9:43 remain in the third. It's once again going to be Zurkowski against Rich for the draw. To the left side of Ellenberger to our right side. Face-off sent over the wing. Kiltz unable to keep it in his possession. Walsh sends this down. Icing going to be waved off as Benengasa picks it up. puts on the brakes as it's 14 against 14 now. Benincasa against Dominic Eni. And now battle along the blue line to try and clear it out. Benincasa is just able to poke it to the open ice for Lowell Rich to take. Kilts his pass, finds Aiden Salmon. Salmon sends this one in, and around the boards it goes for Ellenberger to leave it behind his net. Kilts and Rich able to pick it back up. He's looking to a centering pass over to Salmon. Weak pass. And it'll be picked up by Walsh, trying to clear it, but kept it at the blue line for an out. Shaker behind the net. That'll be a cross check on the Warriors behind the net. And Walsh touches up. Referee still lets this one play out for now. Now we're going to get the whistle with 8:55 remaining in the third. So Shaker still yet to take a penalty. Walsh now taking their third penalty. As this time it's going to be number 23, Anthony Zubinski. So 2 minutes on the power play once again for Shaker. Power play ineffective so far today. Haven't had a whole lot of pressure put on Joshua Ellenberger as well. Here Lenahan creating the turnover behind the net, looking for the centering feed. He's got Connor Mayhew out in front, unable to connect, so he sends it behind the net to Benincasa. Now up to the point, Joey Moore. Moore over to Richard. Richard can't find anyone either, so he rounds it around the boards. Held up along the corner. 3 Raiders against 2 Warriors. Who's going to come out with it? Well, the Warriors. And the Warriors going to clear this one down. 8.5 remain in the third period. 90 seconds remain in the penalty time. Cole Richard holds on to the puck for a moment behind the net of Michael Better. Now skates it out with a cross ice feed now. He won't connect. Walsh takes it. Clears this one down the length of the ice. Michael Better uses his stick. Gives it over to Cole Richard. Richard unable to really free it out to anyone as he's pressured by both Holcomb and Dalton. But now, as he sends it around the boards, Connor Mayhew's the first guy there. He's going to elect not to pass it just yet. Holds onto it for now. Now skates it from blue line to blue line. Now drops it back to Joey Moore. Moore on the blast. Hits the side of the net. And off. And now it looks like the netting is out of place as well. Rough go on the power play once again for Shaker. 54 seconds left on the power play. Oh, it looks like first line power play unit going to stay put. But it looks like now Shaker going to take a timeout already. Almost less than halfway through this third period of action. Shaker going to take the timeout with 54 seconds left on the power play. Shaker needs to talk things over because right now they are struggling on the man advantage, and they are just struggling as a team to connect with the passes. And right now, again, playing like how they did in the very first game of the season. Here we are, game 29 against the same opponent. We'll see what Shaker can do as they talk things over. We'll be back, as we've still got a lot of hockey left to go at the J.M. Bartley Arena. Walsh Jesuit up by 3 to the Red Raiders. .749 left to go in the third period of play. The first line power play unit stays put after they get a little rest after the timeout. This face-off, Benincasa throws it into the corner. Walsh Jesuit going to hang on in the corner, try and kill some time on the hold-up. And now it's freed out. Cole Richard trying to keep it with Shaker, and he'll free it out to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew moves into the center, passes it back into the corner for Lenahan to try and race his way there. Working with Benincasa to keep it in Shaker possession. Benincasa wraps it around, tries to find Lenahan. Lenahan passes it back out into the center. No one there. Sent down the ice by Shaker themselves. Didn't even hit off of a Walsh stick. Here Cole Richard taking it out from behind Michael Better's net. Out from the blue line up to Lenahan. Lenahan tries to make the pass along the blue line. Gives it to Mayhew. Mayhew to Lenahan. Lenahan trying to go between the legs to connect Benincasa, but he can't. And now along the boards, 3 seconds left to go on power play time. Left to Moore at the point. Good accuracy on the shot, but the save made Ellenberger. Zubinski from behind the net comes right out of the sin bin to make his way back into play. There was also some contact right in front of the crease of Ellenberger. Zubinski against Lenahan, but now Walsh holds on in their own zone as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Again, Shakers power play with another rough look. Here Dalton looking into the center. They're a rough hit that time from Cole Richard. Threw him into the boards. Surprised it wasn't called a boarding with the way the referees have called this one recently. Here, Michael Better with a couple of good saves as he keeps that left post covered, his left post covered, our right post. Shaker took it, dumped it down with 6:10 to go in the third period. It's going to get icing on the Red Raiders. So my goodness, Shaker again, now going to be 0 for 3 on the power play. And we'll see what they can do in the final 6:10 to at least try to get themselves on the scoreboard. And this face-off one back. Cam Mayhew tried to wrap it around, but instead Walsh picked it up. Zubinski trying to take the shot. It'll kick off of a Red Raider stick. They can't really get the breakaway going there. A harsh hit in the neutral zone, but Lowell Rich not going to draw the penalty that time. My goodness, that was a rough hit on Rich. Surprised the referees didn't call that one. That was a harsh physical play. And now here along the board, Sebi Juan going to try to fish it out from between the skates of the two tangled in the corner. Freed back out to Lowell Rich. Rich up to the blue line. Braden White on the shot, and this one tip goes up into the air. Juan going to get there first. Takes the rip at it. Now Arth tries to take a chance. Braden White on another shot. Goes right past Lowell Rich. Rich trying to get a rebound opportunity. Centers it. Thrown into the boards once again. No penalty. Walsh sends this up past the red line of center ice. Michael Better hanging on to it. And Shaker clearly displeased with their play right now. They're just playing a little slower and kind of hanging their heads a little bit more. Make their way to the face-off circle, this time to the left of Michael Better. Lenahan out there to take the draw. He's up against Zurikowski. And now Zurikowski thrown out of the dot. We're going to get the freshman Bookzak to take it. And who's going to control it out of the draw? It's going to be Walsh. Van Tegem will take it from the neutral zone. The shot goes off the stick of Michael Better. Shaker will control it in their own zone. Cole Richard hangs on, sends it up to Lenahan. Lenahan bumped off the play, trying to leave it to Joey Moore. Moore calling for it. Lenahan unable to make the play as it's wrapped back around Andy Benincasa. Using the backhand of his stick, trying to send it around for Connor Mayhew to try to get a rush going. But right now, again, Shaker does not connect. Connor Mayhew now splits a couple of forwards, tries to make the play around the last defenseman, Van Tegem, to try to break away. It won't work. Joey Moore with a hit along the blue line. It's going to be a penalty. Now Benincasa throwing another man down as Ellenberger, racing to the bench, falls down to the ice. And Walsh gets their sixth man out, but it's going to be a penalty on Shaker. Clearly a bit of sign of frustration from Joey Moore. It's going to be ruled an elbowing as he throws the door closed. Again, clearly frustrated with the call. 4:25 remaining in the third period. Arth and Juan, the two forwards on defense, Benincasa and Cole Richard. Walsh controls it, looking for the 4-goal lead in a 4-0 score that, again, they had back in November 15th. Here a pass into the slot. Coons unable to really get a good shot away, so he leaves it Van Tegem. Back to Coons. Coons goes cross-ice. No one really there. Juan trying to create the turnover. And eventually, Arth is going to be the guy to get it out. But Walsh going to make their way back in as he kicks this one over to Dalton. Dalton's one-time shot goes right off the stick of Richard. So he holds it and clears this one down. 80 seconds remain in Joey Moore's penalty. Forwards now going to be Aiden Salmon and Ryan Kilt. On defense remain Benincasa and Richard. Here Van Tegem works his way in behind the net. He's pressured by Benincasa, but Van Tegem sticks with it. He moves up to the point, flips with the alternate captain Jonathan Heckman. The defenseman holds on for the far side boards. He's up against Ryan Kiltz. Shaker not pressuring this at all, but Kiltz just able to get his stick in the lane of Holcomb's pass back to Van Tegum at the point, and it'll clear out of the zone. Van Tegum taking it right back in. He's looking for the shot. He won't take it in the lane, but he gives it over to Heckman. Heckman back Van Tegum. Van Tegum looking for the shot. Salmon creates the turnover, sends it down the ice. Ellenberger pressured by 2 Red Raider forwards, so he makes this pass back out to Jonathan Heckman. Heckman moves his way in. Leaves it to Coons. Coons, the first goal scorer of the game. Back Heckman, the defenseman, across the blue line. And here the shot goes off the pad of Michael Better. You heard the loud thud here at the J.M. Bartley Arena. 20 seconds left to go. This one tipped on the rebound. Coons with another goal. It's going to be a power play goal for Walsh Jesuit, and their lead moves to 4. Again, November 15th. 24, that was almost 3 months ago, 2.5. I mean, my goodness. But Shaker just having a performance against Walsh Jesuit. They let that offsides goal get into their head, and after that, they weren't able to come back into this one. As Shaker's offense wasn't able to get anything going really either. Here Schneiberg pulls this one forward, working against Van Tegum. And along the point, here it goes to Brokaw. Brokaw trying to take the shot, picked up, however, by a Warrior defender. He gets it up to Von Sprinsel. Dylan Ursepke clears it out as Ursepke is out with Elliot Hanna. 2:22 to go in the third period as head coach Matt Bartley clearly letting some of the less experienced guys play this one out. Schneiberg, Brokaw, Lazar, the forwards on defense right now. It's Ursepke and Elliot Hanna. The Warriors send this one in. Van Tegum wraps it around the glass. Ursepke unable to make the play. Up along the board. Schneiberg unable to poke it out. So the Warriors still with it. They flip this one from one side of the zone to the other. Isaac Lazar just working to clear it away, but kept in for now by the Warriors. Pass up that time to number 10, Nathan Lindo, the senior forward. Hasn't had a whole lot of shifts here today. Again, same as the senior Ian Schneiberg, who's out here right now. 90 seconds remain in this third and final period of play. Shaker struggling to clear it out of their zone, but it's what you might expect with the less experienced players. Sprang keeping this one in at the point. He took the shot, went wide. Schneiberg going to be able to clear it out? No, it's onside, but this one poked out to Isaac Lazar. Lazar pressured by Van Tegum. Lazar sticks with it. Somehow took the shot. It goes wide to the right. Honestly, not a half bad play from Isaac Lazar. Now the third line forwards make their way back out. Arth, Schneider, and Juan on defense right now. Lincoln Goldstein and Cam Mayhew. Juan trying to get back to the puck along his own blue line. He'll have some great effort. And Goldstein gets it over to Arth. Arth trying to make that centering feed right off the stick of a Warrior. Wrapped around the boards. Bookzak going to take it. Try to bank it off the boards. Juan going to keep it in for the moment, but then kicked out. 2-on-2 rush. Now 3-on-2 rush if Walsh can hurry. Eni tries to send it back around to that time number 21, Kale Zurikowski. Arth pressuring this one here. Juan with an opportunity to send this one back to Arth. He's unable to make the puck on net. Great opportunity that time. Here, Axel Schneider on a backhand tries to send this one on net with 17 seconds left to go. The save made by the alternate captain, Josh Ellenberger. Brokaw, Lazar, and instead of Schneiberg this time, it's going to be Eamon Fury. On defense, Lincoln Goldstein and Cam Mayhew. Again, the less experienced guys out to take this face-off. Walsh going to win it at first, but now Eamon Fury gets to it. Tries to wrap it around to Isaac Lazar. Can't really connect with his guy. Now a centering feed, trying to find Brokaw. Brokaw on the backhand. It'll hit right off of a forward stuck in the slot. And now Shaker wraps this one around. And time's going to expire. Shaker going to lose this one 4-0. So throughout the 2 games in which they've played against Jesuit for the league standings, they're going to lose it 8-0. 4-0 in each of the 2 games. Ellenberger with some phenomenal saves once again as he's first in line to the handshakes with Michael Better leading for the Red Raiders. So as they get set with their hands at center ice, we're going to hit you with the stats before we sign off. Shaker honestly didn't play a bad game if you look at it this way. The shots on goal, 30-21 and attempted in total. They had 47-36 to their advantage. And on the faceoffs, Shaker even won 26-25, which has been a lacking point in their game. And as you can tell, it's the most lacking point in their game still. But when you have that still winning for you, even if it's just by one, Shaker needs to take that kind of momentum and turn that into goals onto the scoreboard, which Shaker just could not do today. Again, the passes just were not there. Their power play really lacked. Again, 0 for 3 they went on the man advantage. And when they were on the disadvantage, Walsh Jesuit was able to tack on a goal, the fourth and final goal, to take away this victory 4-0. And again, back in their kind of play that they had in mid-November when they started out the season. Shaker lost to Walsh Jesuit 4-0 then. They've had a lot of great performances since then with ties against Gilmore Academy, tying Olentangy Liberty, but now they come into this game and lose again by the same amount they did to Walsh Jesuit earlier this season. So we'll see if Shaker can just try to bounce back next weekend. They play Padua Franciscan in their final GLHL game, a team that they also lost to by 4. After that, we're going to have senior night on that Sunday, February 2nd against Benedictine. That's a game Shaker should win, but again, Shaker was supposed to compete with Walsh Jesuit today, and that just was not the Shaker losing this one 4-0. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We will see you this upcoming weekend as Shaker takes on Padua at the Brunswick Auto Mart Arena and Benedictine back here at home.